If anyone is calling for lockdowns, you're not getting that done in Florida.
Governor Ron DeSantis striking down the idea of shutting down the state. His latest response as Florida leads the nation in new COVID cases.
Plus, bringing back the mask debate. One of the country's top doctors asks the CDC to take another look at its recommendations.
And we are taking on Tokyo. We are less than an hour away from the opening ceremonies of the 2020 games, and take a look at this live view of the sunset there. We'll tell you what to expect today.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
A good Friday morning to you. We are 54 minutes away from NBC taking over and getting us to the Tokyo Olympics opening ceremony. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Sonika Dange. Excitement is certainly mounting for those opening ceremonies in Tokyo. And Jason, we're so glad that you're right here counting down minute by minute, keeping us updated.
Now, before we get to the games, we do need to help you get ready for your day ahead here in Central Florida. We have first warning meteorologist Alex Alisi in on a Friday. And Alex, how's that forecast shaping up?
Well, we're already starting to see some showers firing up on radar, but the big push for rain is going to happen later on this afternoon as those showers and storms become quite widespread later on. As we take a look at temperatures warming all the way up into the mid-90s by around 3 o'clock. Then that rain will move in to cool things down slowly. 91 degrees by around 5 by 7 down to about 88. So again, already starting to see some showers popping on up. You can see as we zoom in a little bit closer into Volusia County, these heavier showers making their way across 92 heading towards I-4. This will continue its way down towards the south and the east and head towards Sam Sula and New Smyrna Beach over the next half hour. As we take a look out towards the west here in Lake County, also watching just 2 isolated showers popping up, pushing their way down towards the south. These will eventually move their way towards I-4 as well. Sanford just to the south of you dealing with a storm as well, heading over towards 1792. As we go later on this afternoon, as rain becomes more widespread, we're also going to be watching out for that threat of some heavier downpours. That can give us some flooding, so that's something we're going to be watching later on. I'm going to time out the heaviest of those showers and storms coming up in just a couple of minutes. Jacqueline.
All right, thanks so much, Alex. And turning now to your first warning traffic, we do have some issues that are out there this morning, starting off over in Brevard County. So if you typically take I-95 heading southbound over in the Titusville area, right around exit 228, we are keeping an eye on a crash that's reported here from FHP. So there is one lane that's blocked right around the 406 there. The good news, our maps are still showing green, so it doesn't look like we're seeing any major delays in that spot, but we'll keep you posted and keep an eye on that. When it comes to I-4, I know we talked about some construction that was out there right around Ivanhoe from overnight that was still kind of lingering for the morning drive. That is now completely cleared on out, and this is a live look at I-4 over near Princeton. Both sides of the interstate there moving right along. Coming up just ahead, we will take a look at those I-4 travel times. Sonika, Jason?
Jacqueline, thank you. This morning, Florida is one of 3 states accounting for 40% of all new COVID-19 infections.
And despite the rapid rise in numbers, Governor Ron DeSantis is vowing not to issue any COVID mandates or lockdowns. WESH 2's Megan Delato is joining us live from outside the Orlando Police Headquarters, where a new mobile vaccination clinic is opening in the day ahead. So, Megan, let's talk about the governor. What's he said about Florida's handling of this virus?
Well, he says despite the rise in cases, lockdowns or statewide mandates will not be happening here in Florida. He says he believes he's successfully handling the COVID-19 situation without those measures.
New this morning, one of the nation's top doctors is sending an urgent plea to the CDC. He wants them to reconsider their mask recommendations. Sheldon Dutez is joining us now in studio this morning. Sheldon, what are the changes he's looking for?
Well, Jason, that plea is coming from U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams. He actually wrote an opinion piece in the Washington Post saying that the CDC should reconsider asking people who are fully vaccinated to wear masks.
All right. Thanks, Sheldon. And for you to track COVID data in Florida and your community, make sure you've downloaded our free WESH 2 mobile app and enable alerts. You can find the latest case numbers in addition to vaccination rates. And make sure those notifications are turned on for any breaking updates.
Happening right now, Olympians are getting ready for the opening ceremonies in Tokyo. They are set to begin in less than an hour. This is a look at the sunrise in Japan earlier today. Remember, they are 13 hours ahead of us. Athletes and organizers have been waiting for this day for 8 years since Tokyo was picked to host the games back in 2013. It has been a longer wait than most anticipated, and it's all because of the coronavirus pandemic. The new surge of the virus this year means these games will look even more different. Fans will not be allowed at any of the competitions, but we've learned organizers will allow 950 people to watch the opening ceremonies at the Olympic Stadium. Most of them will be officials and journalists. And coming up in less than 10 minutes, we'll be speaking with the former International Olympic Committee executive. He'll be joining us live to talk about what this year's competition will look like. A man leading authorities on a high-speed chase through Marion County was caught after his stolen truck got caught in the mud. Body cam footage shows the moment he was taken into custody. Take a look.
Get out the truck! Now! Get out the truck! Get on the ground! Get on the ground, you understand? You don't move! You hear me?
That was Robert Dean behind the wheel of that truck. Deputies say Dean actually stole 2 trucks, one carrying a trailer. They found the second truck nearby. Dean is now charged with grand theft auto.
A close call in Miami for crews setting up a music festival. This massive video wall that was supposed to feature all the artists yesterday collapsed. And here is a look at the wall. As you can see from this chopper footage, it's now in pieces. The good news out of this, no one was hurt. The festival, called Rolling Loud there in Miami, is set to be held at Hard Rock Stadium and set to start today. There will be performances by Post Malone and Travis Scott.
The 2020 Olympics have finally arrived.
Well, we still have 44 minutes to go.
For that one.
Let's take it out of Tokyo, where it is 7:10 in the evening, and we are counting down to the opening ceremony. A former Olympic Committee executive gives us his take on this year's games right after the break.
Traffic on WESH 2 News Sunrise is driven by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
This summer,
let the games begin.
The world meets again, and each morning we share powerful stories.
Raise your hand if you're freaking out. Everybody!
At the Tokyo Olympics, today is where the games begin.
The Olympic Zone on WESH 2.
Your in-depth look at all the action from Tokyo.
The pageantry, the competition, and Central Florida's best in the quest for gold.
The Olympic Zone on WESH 2, Saturday, presented by Advent Health.
Today is the day, an extra year of waiting, and we are finally about to see some of the greatest athletes in the world compete at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Here is a live look for you from the city this morning. And again, for them, it is evening. They're 13 hours ahead, and the sun is just setting, but you can see the city is just now waking up.
And it has been a gorgeous day there, a gorgeous evening for us to begin the Olympic Games in 40 minutes with the opening ceremony. And we've been counting down all month long, really for this whole year, trying to get up to this moment.
And it's finally here. This morning, we are turning to a familiar face for more insight behind the organization of these games. Former International Olympic Committee executive John Seiner is live with us this morning. And John, I'm just going to jump right in here. These games are going to look so different. We'll see that right when the opening ceremonies start, where only 950 people will be allowed, and no spectators this year at the sporting events. All right, John Seiner, former IOC executive, sharing some insight with us this morning. John, thank you. No doubt we'll be talking to you frequently over the next couple of weeks. Stay with us for all your coverage of the Olympic Games. We are going to have a live report from Tokyo coming up for you in the next half hour on Sunrise. And starting at 6:55, you can watch the opening ceremony only on WESH 2.
Okay, we want to get over to your first warning weather here in Central Florida. We know we've got that heat and humidity. It was prepping the athletes for Tokyo. We're doing it again today. We just need to time out some afternoon showers, Alex.
Yeah, and that's right. And in Tokyo right now, temperatures are on their way down. You can see it's close to 80 degrees there. And I know our live shot was showing some building clouds there up to the north of Tokyo. And there are some showers and storms trying to work their way in, but it looks like they are falling apart before they make it down to Tokyo. So it looks like a dry start to the Olympics. Close to home right now, well, we're getting quite the wet start early in some spots. We do have some isolated showers making their way across I-4, working their way down towards Samsula and New Smyrna Beach. You can see quite some heavy rain at first. Now they're starting to fade away as they work their way down towards that south and easterly trajectory. You can also see a few showers here moving south of Sanford, heading over towards Geneva, and then further out towards the west over Zelwa, dealing with a heavier shower working its way right down towards Apopka. These showers are holding together a little bit better. So Seminole County, you're going to be dealing with a little bit more of that rain. So if you are leaving in the next hour or so and you're going to be traveling along I-4, it's going to be a little wet out there. Just a few spots for those showers. Not seeing that widespread rain quite yet. Noon. Again, tracking the tropics. Here's that disturbance I was talking about, working its way into the Atlantic. That's going to slide its way down to our south. And again, as it works its way down to the south, that's going to increase your moisture as we go into your Sunday. And that's why I'm expecting a little more rain for your Sunday afternoon. About a 60% coverage of rain on Sunday, 91 degrees, back down to 40% coverage. So just a few scattered showers on Monday. And by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, more of that widespread rain. 50% coverage of showers and storms with highs in the low 90s. Hey, Jacqueline.
Hey, good morning, Alex. Good morning, everyone. I do have an update on some earlier trouble spots out there over in Brevard County. So we talked about that crash along the southbound side of I-95, right around 406 on your exit 228, or 220 rather. This is one of our closest traffic cameras in that spot. That crash looks like it is now completely cleared on out. Over on the southbound side, we're not seeing any delays north and southbound in that area along I-95 in Brevard County. If you're about to hop on I-4, no major issues or concerns to worry about, at least right now at 6:21. All of our travel times are in the green. I-4 westbound to make that commute from Lake Mary Boulevard over to Lee Road. Everything is still moving right on time. It's going to take about 10 minutes to make that commute. Jason, Sonica?
All right, Jacqueline, still ahead here on Sunrise. A threat to the NFL's paychecks.
The strict new policy just announced that may encourage more players to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
There are enough surprises in your day. Don't let the weather be one of them. Take Central Florida's most accurate forecast with you anywhere. Download the WESH 2 app today.
There's a night that will remind you how big the world is, and yet how closely linked we all are. When the world comes together, creating a moment as beautiful as any you've ever seen. There's a night to celebrate the best of us. The opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympics.
The National Football League is changing its COVID policies this year.
And these new rules could make some players give up their paychecks. The policy states if there is a COVID outbreak among unvaccinated players or staff members, the team will forfeit that week's game as a loss unless the game can be made up during the season. If it can't be rescheduled, players from both teams, which were supposed to play, will not get paid. And the team with the outbreak will be responsible for any additional expenses incurred by the other team. Okay, you know, money speaks, and that's, I guess, one of those ways that the league is saying, this isn't on us, this is on each of the teams and the players.
Right.
Wow.
We'll have to see.
We have another half hour of WESH 2 News Sunrise on the way. We're going to talk about that weekend forecast and time out any showers so you can enjoy your outside time and not get caught in a storm. That's minutes away.
Plus, Florida takes the top spot for new COVID cases in the U.S. How the numbers have changed in just a few short weeks, and the governor's reaction to the surge.
Plus, let's take you to Tokyo this morning. It is now 7:26 in the evening there, just about a half an hour out from the opening ceremony beginning. 28 minutes to be exact. Stay with us for more on what you need to know before the start of the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games.
First warning weather on WESH 2 brought to you by DeLuca Toyota in Ocala.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Just before 6:30, and the wait is almost over. The opening ceremony for the 2020 Tokyo Games. It will all begin in 25 minutes. We're going to take you live to the city before it starts to show you just how much excitement there is for the games.
Flagging Florida as a COVID hotspot, the state is reporting more new cases than anywhere else. Why the governor says this won't cause another lockdown.
Again, another strain is spreading. The new COVID variant reported across the country as the Delta strain continues wreaking havoc.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
It is Friday, and we got that Friday feeling. Plus, we are starting the Olympics in, let me get back to my countdown here, 25 minutes, Sonica. And as the clock ticks down, 24 minutes now.
Okay. Anticipation, we know, is very high. In our last half hour, we got some great insight from a former IOC executive. And this half hour, we're going to get a live look in Tokyo and speak to a live reporter there.
Yeah.
But of course, first we want to begin your morning with a check of our forecast.
We have first warning meteorologist Alex Alisi in, and on a Friday, Alex, get us ready for those showers. What's the timing?
Hey, as we get later on this afternoon, we're going to be seeing more widespread showers and storms. Right now, we have about a 20% coverage out there. We're dealing with a few spotty showers here and there. So if you are driving, just be aware you might encounter one of those, little bit of a wet roadway out there, but at least not any heavy downpours quite yet. Temperatures are going to warm up quickly, and as we get towards that 3 o'clock hour, temperatures will be warming up into the mid-90s, and that's also when we're going to start seeing those showers and storms becoming a bit more widespread, a bit more intense to wash away some of that heat. So right now, cloud cover is thick, and I am watching again a few of these spotty showers popping up in Volusia County, heading from the north and the west down towards the south and east towards Samsua and New Smyrna Beach. Also watching some heavier rain moving towards Apopka now. These will continue their way down towards I-4 as we get over the next half hour. Now, as we go later on today, some of these downpours are going to be quite heavy. The showers and storms should be moving a little bit faster, but we are going to continue to watch for a flooding risk as we go later on this afternoon. Ground's already soaked. We don't need so much more rain, but we will be getting it as we get into the weekend. 50% showers and storms tomorrow. By Sunday, about a 60% coverage. I'm going to time out those showers and storms. Take a look at the tropics coming up in just a couple of minutes. Hey, Jacqueline.
Hey, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Right now, we're starting off with a live look from our chopper. They're cruising along I-4 this morning. They're just north of downtown Orlando, just passed over the Ivanhoe area. We're east and westbound traffic along I-4, at least in this spot, looks pretty good. When it comes to I-4, the eastbound side over in the Champions Gate area, we are starting to see some slowdowns out there along the eastbound side, but that's pretty typical for us for this time of the morning for our morning commute. Even though we are seeing that portion of I-4 eastbound fill up, our travel times are still doing just fine all across the board. We are in the green, no major delays to worry about, and of course, we will keep checking in on these drive times and let you know if that changes. Sonica, Jason?
All right, let's get you to some news that we want to update you on from overnight. We're learning a 16-year-old boy who was shot has now died. Police say the teen was shot last night at Sutton Place Apartments. He was then rushed to the ER for treatment, but died from his injuries. If you have information, Crime Stoppers of Marion County wants to hear from you. Megan, thank you. There is also some growing concern over a new variant here in the U.S. It's known as the Lambda variant. It was first discovered in Peru, but now there are more than 700 cases of this strain being reported in the U.S. Now, a whole lot more research needs to be done because we don't know how dangerous the variant might be or how it compares to the Delta variant. Doctors say they are still learning about it, and they'll continue trying to find out more.
Experts say the best way to beat variants and prevent more from popping up is to get the vaccine. And now there's a new campaign to make sure college students in Florida are getting the shot. Florida A&M University is offering its students incentives. Those who get the vaccine will be entered into a drawing for prizes like cash or electronics. FAMU hosts free COVID-19 testing and vaccination sites on campus.
Remember, we can't be FAM without you being vaccinated. So we're dependent upon you to call the shot.
The school hopes more vaccinations will help them return to more in-person classes and activities for the fall. And for more information on the COVID vaccine and where you can get a shot, head to WESH.com. We are also posting continuous updates for you on the coronavirus pandemic on our WESH 2 News mobile app.
Take a look at your screen. We are inside that half-hour countdown, minutes away from the start of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
In 24 minutes and 30 seconds, you can see Team USA meet with athletes from all over the world at the Olympic Stadium. Opening ceremonies begin on WESH at 6:55. But before we get to watch that event, we want to get an idea of what's happening in Japan right now.
Now, Stephanie Gosk joins us live. She's there in Tokyo this morning. So let's talk about the atmosphere. What's it feeling like in that city leading up to the opening ceremony in just minutes?
Hey, Jason and Sonica, you know, I have to be honest, there is a mixed feeling in this city. While there is certainly excitement from the opening ceremony tonight, the message being moving forward, they hope that this will be a symbol tonight, as well as the games in general, of hope for the world that we can get beyond this pandemic. There is also definitely trepidation. You have COVID numbers on the rise here in Tokyo and Japan. There are people in this country that did not want these games to go forward. And you are going to see signs of an opening ceremony being held during a pandemic. The biggest one and most obvious obvious one would be that this is a stadium that holds 68,000 people. Tonight, there are going to be less than 1,000, mostly dignitaries and sponsors who will be there. Among them will be First Lady Jill Biden. She's leading the delegation from the United States. There will be also some things that you've seen before, including the parade of athletes. New this year, you'll have one woman and a man from each country able to bear the flag in honor of their country, so that'll be kind of a neat thing to see. And there will also certainly be the celebratory nature of this opening ceremony. It just expect it to be a bit more solemn as they recognize the fact that it's being held during this pandemic. Guys, back to you.
All right. Well, it is certainly an exciting time, yes, for the athletes, and we do know that there have been those protests going on. Stephanie, thanks for giving us an update this morning.
Savannah Guthrie will be co-hosting the opening ceremony this morning, marking NBC's first ever live morning broadcast of an opening ceremony. Then immediately after that, there will be a special edition of Today with reaction and athlete interviews that will happen at 11 a.m. And again, WESH is your home for all things Olympics this year. Stay with us this morning. We're going to take you live to the opening ceremonies in less than 30 minutes. Another show of support for the local officer shot on duty.
Still ahead, how you can help Officer Jason Rayner's recovery. Plus, a hate crime spree who police say armed robbers are targeting more than a half dozen times it's happened this summer.
Traffic on WESH 2 News Sunrise is driven by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
You're watching WESH 2.
Welcome back. Orlando police this morning are asking for help finding more victims in what they're calling a hate crime spree.
Officers tell us they've been investigating a series of armed robberies against LGBTQ+ victims.
So we know weather is crucial when we talk about an important event like that, or all of our weekend plans.
Yeah, so we are already starting to see some green on the radar this morning. Alex, who is seeing that rain right now?
Yeah, that's right. We're already seeing those showers up in Flagler County, Volusia County, and even Orange. Hey, Jacqueline, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Right now, we're starting off with a live look from our chopper showing I-4. They're heading eastbound, approaching the Lake Monroe area. East and westbound traffic here along I-4. Things look pretty good. Traffic is light, and we don't have any concerns up in that area. Really, the same thing goes for I-4 over near the 429, not too far from Osceola Parkway. In this camera view on the westbound side, we do have an abandoned vehicle there, but it's moved over onto the shoulder. East and westbound traffic also very light in that area. When it comes to those I-4 travel times, no major concerns right now at 6:46. We are seeing green all across the board. If you're heading out along I-4 eastbound, maybe you're driving from the Turnpike, that area over towards Colonial into downtown Orlando, it's going to take about 12 minutes to make that commute. Sonica, Jason?
All right, just a reminder, the Olympics begin in 8 minutes on WESH 2. And coming up on Sunrise, how the White House is getting involved in the Cuban crisis.
And how people in Florida will be showing their support today.
This first warning weather update is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell phone.
This is Central Florida weather.
From the golden, sunny mornings to the dark, stormy afternoons.
Wherever you live,
Whatever your plans,
we forecast for your day.
Good weather, severe weather, and everything in between. This is the only local forecast certified most accurate. This is WESH 2 first warning weather.
Happening today, a group of boats are planning to leave the Florida Keys to sail near Cuba and show support for the people there. The flotilla plans to leave this afternoon and cruise to about 15 miles outside of Havana. They'll set off flares and fireworks to show they are with the protesters on the island. The White House is now getting involved in the Cuban crisis. It just announced new sanctions against a Cuban official and a government entity.
Officials say the sanctions are being issued over accusations of human rights abuses. It's the first action the administration has taken since President Biden promised to put pressure on the Cuban government. And the president says it's just the beginning.
In terms of our approach to Cuba and what we're trying to accomplish, we have, of course, condemned mass detentions, sham trials, and disappearances that are attempts to threaten the Cuban people into silence.
Now, the White House is also calling for the release of protesters who have been unjustly arrested.
And we want to remind you, we are now just minutes away from the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Jason?
4 minutes and about 30 seconds.
4 minutes. Savannah Guthrie will be co-hosting the opening ceremony starting this morning at 6:55. It marks NBC's first ever live morning broadcast of an opening ceremony. We'll have another check on weather and traffic when we come back.
Closed captioning is sponsored by your Central Florida Chevy dealers.
All right, we are just minutes away from the opening ceremonies of the Tokyo Olympics. In fact, 1 minute and 24 seconds, 23 seconds. Remember, you can watch them live right here on WESH coming up next.
Okay, but first we do need to get to that final check of weather and traffic. First Warning meteorologist Alex Alisi is closely watching that radar. And Alex, there's rain popping up.
That is right. We're watching some showers firing up here in Flagler County, parts of Volusia County as well. A heavier shower making its way just north of Astor. That'll work its way over towards I-4 and I-95 as we head later on this morning. Big batch of rain making its way through Apopka, heading towards Forest City. This will make its way over I-4 into Altamont Springs and Maitland as we go over the next 15 minutes or so. And further out to the west, we're watching for more showers to build their way in. The flood threat for today, we're going to continue to watch as some heavier downpours will be moving their way in as we head into the weekend. We're watching showers and storms for Saturday and on Sunday. Highs will remain quite hot in the low 90s. Hey, Jacqueline.
Hey, good morning, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Our morning drive is in very good shape right now. If we get out to a view of our chopper shot, they're cruising along, just turning back around, heading westbound from the Lake Monroe area, heading closer towards downtown Orlando. No major issues or traffic concerns there. And when it comes to our I-4 travel times, those are also doing just fine. We are seeing green all across the board this morning. Jason, Sonica?
All right, we're about 10 seconds away from the start of the games on WESH 2, and we have more news for you on TW18.
7 seconds, 6 seconds.
Go Team USA!